Jai Guruji, Shukrana Guruji Maharaj for giving us this opportunity to read and hear Shivpuran. Here is a synopsis from last week. Last week we read chapter 8 of Rudra Samhita part 3. We read how gods enthusiastically went to the confluence of river Mahi and the ocean, hearing that they are going to be victorious in the battle against Taraka. Once this tumultuous battle started between the gods and the asuras. Soon the battlefield was full of corpses. Many gods, many asuras, they were defeated, they were injured. The asuras roared like lions and raised shouts of jubilation. In the meantime, when Veerbhadra approached the place, he started his battle with Taraka, and it was a great battle, and both were wounded. Narada approached Veerbhadra and requested him to desist from the fight as it would not be proper, but the furious Veerbhadra told him that he's not going to sit until he kills Taraka, and hence he continued his fight with him. In the battle between Ganas and Asuras, Ganas emerged victorious, but on seeing his army vanishing, Taraka assumed the 10,000 hands and rode a lion and felled gods and Ganas. Veerbhadra took the trident and meditated on Lord Shiva, but he was stopped by Kartikeya. He went away and returned from the battle, and after this, Taraka and Asuras caused great havoc to gods and Ganas. Seeing all of this, Vishnu got ready to fight, and a fierce battle was fought between Vishnu and Taraka. They both repeatedly hit each other and with unabated strength. So here is where we read till last week. Today we are going to read two chapters. Chapter 9 is boasting of Taraka and fight between him and Indra, Vishnu and Veerbhadra. Chapter 10 is jubilation of gods at the death of Taraka. We would only be reading English Shivpuran today, and it is going to be read by Sunita Auntie. Jai Guruji, Shukrana Guruji Maharaj.
Jai Guruji, Shukrana to Guru Maharaj for granting me this opportunity. Apologies in advance for any errors and omissions. Chapter 9, the boasting of Taraka and the fight between him and Indra, Vishnu and Veerbhadra. Brahma said, O Guha, O Lord of gods, O son of Shiva and Parvati, the fight between Vishnu and Taraka is not proper. It is futile. Taraka the powerful cannot be killed by Vishnu. He has been granted such a boon by me. It is truth. I am telling you the truth. O son of Parvati, none except you can be the slayer of this sinner. O great Lord, my words shall be carried out by you. O scorcher of enemies, please get ready to slay him. O son of Parvati, you are born of Shiva for killing that demon. O great hero, save the gods distressed in the battle. You are neither a boy nor a youth, but the Lord of all. See Indra and Vishnu, they are agitated and distressed. So also the gods and the Ganas. Slay this demon, make the three worlds happy. Formerly Indra and the guardians of the quarters had been conquered by him. Due to the power of his penance, the heroic Vishnu too has been threatened by him. The entire universe of the three worlds has been defeated by this wicked Asura. Now, because of your presence, they have fought again. Hence, O son of Shiva, this sinful being, Taraka, shall be killed by you. Due to the boon granted by me, he cannot be slain by anyone else. Brahma said, on hearing these words of mine, Kumara, son of Shiva, was delighted and he laughed. So be it, said he. Resolving to kill the Asura, the great Lord, son of Shiva, got down from the aerial chariot and stood on the ground. Running on foot, seizing his lustrous spear, blazing like a meteor, the powerful warrior Kumar, born of Shiva, shone well. On seeing the incomprehensible six-headed deity coming forward, fierce and unagitated, the Asuras spoke to the gods derisively. Oh, this child indeed will slay the enemies. I will fight with him single-handed. I will kill the soldiers, the Ganas, and the guardians of the quarters led by Vishnu. Saying thus, the powerful Asura rushed at Kumar to fight with him. Taraka seized his wonderful spear and spoke to the gods. Taraka said, how is it that you all keep Kumara face to face with me? You gods are shameless, especially Indra and Vishnu. Formerly, both of them had acted in violation of the Vedic path. Listen, I shall describe the same. Vishnu was deceptive, defective, and indiscreet. It was by him that Bali was formally bound by taking recourse to deception with sinful intention. The Asuras Madhu and Kaitab were beheaded by his roguishness. He forsook the Vedic path. When the gods and Asuras sat for drinking the nectar, it was he who violated the sanctity of the vows when he assumed the form of an enchantress. Thus he slighted the Vedic path. Taking birth as Rama, he killed a woman, Tadaka. Bali's death was brought about by him with a vile trick. A Brahmin descendant of Vishravas was killed by him. Thus he violated the injunction of the Shruti. Sinful that he was, he forsook his own innocent wife. There too he violated the path of Shruti for achieving his selfish end. In his sixth incarnation, as Parshuram, he cut off the head of his own mother. This wicked man insulted his own preceptor's son. Incarnating as Krishna, he defiled the wives of others and forced them to violate the traditional virtues of the family. He contracted his marriages without any reference to the Vedic path. Again, in his ninth incarnation, he slighted the Vedic path and, contrary to its principles, preached and established the aesthetic philosophy called Buddhism. How can he be considered an excellent virtuous man? How can he be victorious in battle who has committed sin without caring for Vedic cult? Indra, his elder brother, is a greater sinner. He has committed many sins for his self-interest. To gain his selfish end, by him Diti's fetus was destroyed. The modesty of Gautama's wife was outraged. Vrita, the son of Brahmin, was killed. He beheaded the Brahmin Vishvarupa, the nephew of Brihaspati. Thus he transgressed the Vedic path. Doing such sinful acts frequently, Vishnu and Shiva are already deficient in splendor and their prowess is spent out. You will never gain victory in the battle by relying on them. Why then did you foolishly come here to lose your lives? These two, always seeking selfish ends, do not know what is virtue. O gods, without virtue, every right becomes futile. These two impudent fellows are presumptuous enough to place a child in front of me. Why? I will kill the child too. They too will have it. But let the child leave from here and save his life. After saying this, hinting at Indra and Vishnu, he turned to Virabhadra and said, Formerly in the sacrifice of Daksha, many Brahmins had been killed by you. O sinless one, I shall show you the fruit thereof. Brahma said, saying this and dispossessing himself of his own merit by that act of censure, Taraka, the foremost amongst warmongers, seized his wonderful spear. Indra, who was going ahead of Kumara, hit the demon Taraka forcibly with his thunderbolt as he was approaching the boy. Taraka was shattered and split by that blow of the thunderbolt, his power being sapped up already by the act of censure. He fell on the ground. Though he fell down, he got up immediately and furiously hit Indra, who was seated on an elephant with his spear, and felled him to the ground. When Indra fell down, there was a great hue and cry. On seeing it, a great pain entered the army of the gods. Know from me the vile action that Taraka has committed against virtue, which is sure to bring about his own ruin. He stamped on Indra with his foot after he fell down and seized his thunderbolt, with which he hit him with great force. Seeing Indra thus insulted, the powerful Lord Vishnu lifted his discus and hit Taraka. Hit by the discus, he fell on the ground. Getting up again, the Lord of Asuras hit Vishnu with his spear. On being hit by the spear, Vishnu fell on the ground. There was a great uproar. The gods lamented much. Within a moment, Vishnu got up, but by that time, Virabhadra came near the demon and dexterously raised his trident. The powerful Virabhadra hit him with all his force. Hit by the trident, he fell on the ground. Though he fell down, Taraka of mighty splendor got up again. The great hero, the leader of the entire host of Asuras, hit Virabhadra in his chest with his great spear. Virabhadra, hit by the spear furiously in his chest, fell unconscious on the ground. The god, the Ganas, Gandharvas, serpents and Rakshasas lamented frequently with cries of alas, alas. Within a moment, the powerful Virabhadra, the slayer of enemies, got up, lifting his trident aloft that had the luster of lightning and was blazing forth. The trident had a halo around like that of the sun, moon and the fire. It illuminated the quarters by means of its brilliance, caused terror even in the hearts of the brave. It had a deadly splendor and blazed well. When the powerful Virabhadra was about to hit the Asura with his trident, he was prevented by Kumara. Chapter 10, Jubilation of the Gods at the Death of Taraka. Brahma said, after preventing Virabhadra, Kumara, the slayer of enemies, desired the destruction of Taraka after remembering the lotus-like feet of Shiva. Then the powerful Kartikeya of great splendor roared. Angrily he got ready for the fight. He was surrounded by a vast army. Shouts of victory were raised by the gods and the Ganas. He was eulogized by the celestial sages with pleasing words. The fight between Taraka and Kumara was terrific and unbearable. All living beings were afraid. O sage, even as all the persons stood gazing wonderingly, both of them fought each other with spears in their hands. Each was wounded in the heart by the other with the spear. Each tried to escape from the other's thrust. Both were equally strong, like two lions. Both were equally equipped for the fight. They fought and hit each other's spear, taking recourse to the mantras Vaitalika, Khecharaka, Praptika. With these mantras, they were possessed of magical properties. They wonderfully fought each other, using full strength and the exploits. They were equally good adepts in fighting. Each wanted to kill the other. They utilized all their power. With the edges of spears, they hit each other. They hit or cut each other's head, neck, thighs, knees, hips, heart, chest, and the back. They continued the fight, swaggering and vaunting with heroic words. They were experts in different tactics of warfare. They were equally strong. They desired to kill each other. All the gods, Gandharvas and Kinnaras stood as mere onlookers. Who will win this battle? They asked each other. Then a celestial voice rose appeasing the gods. In this battle, Kumara will kill the Asura Taraka. None of the gods need to be anxious. All shall rest assured. For your welfare, Shiva himself is standing here in the form of his son. On hearing the auspicious words uttered by the celestial voice, Kumara became happy. He was surrounded by Pramathas. He resolved to kill Taraka, the king of Asuras. The infuriated Kumara of powerful arms used his full strength and hit Asura Taraka in between his nipples. Slighting that blow, the leading demon Taraka hit Kumara angrily with his spear. At the blow of the spear, the son of Shiva became unconscious. He regained his consciousness in a few minutes. He was eulogized by the great sages. Kumara became furious like a maddened lion and was desirous of killing the Asura. The powerful Kumara hit Taraka with his spear. Thus, both Kumara and Taraka, equally inflamed and equally well versed in the battle of spears, fought each other. Both appeared to possess plenty of practice. Both had the desire to gain the upper hand. Both fought on foot, had wonderful forms and features, and were equally courageous. With massive heaps of fatal missiles, they hit each other. They had various ways of attack. They roared. They exhibited all their exploits. The onlookers, the gods, the Gandharvas, and the Kinnaras were much surprised. They did not speak anything there. The wind did not blow. The sun became dim. The earth quaked along with the mountains and forests. In the meantime, Himalaya and other mountains, anxious to see Kumara out of affection, came there. On seeing the mountains extremely terrified, Kumara, the son of Shiva and Parvati, spoke enlightening them thereby. Kumara said, O mountains, O fortunate sirs, do not be vexed or worried. Even as you stand looking on, I will kill this sinner. Consoling the mountains, the gods and the Ganas thus, and bowing to Shiva and Parvati, he took up his brilliant spear. The heroic Kumara, son of Shiva, the great lord, with the spear in his hand, shone in his resolve to kill Taraka. Possessing the brilliance of Shiva, Kumara, with his spear, struck Taraka, who had harassed the worlds. Immediately, the Asura Taraka, the ruler of the hosts of Asuras, although very heroic, fell on the ground with all his limbs shattered. The great warrior Taraka was slain by Kumara. O sage, even as all were looking on, he passed away. On seeing the powerful Asura fallen dead in the battle, the hero did not go and attack him again. When the powerful Asura was slain, other Asuras were killed by the gods and Ganas. Some of the Asuras who were afraid joined their palms in reverence. In the battle, the limbs of many Asuras were chopped off and severed. Thousands were killed too. Some of the Asuras, shrieking, O save, with palms joined in reverence, sought refuge in Kumara. Numberless Asuras were killed. Many fled. The fleeing Asuras were beaten and harassed by the gods and the Ganas. Thousands of them fled to Patal for their life. Those who tried to flee were disappointed and put to distress. O great sage, thus the entire army of the Asuras disappeared. None dared to remain there for the fear of the gods and the Ganas. When the wicked Asura was killed, the whole universe became freed of thorns, freed from the danger and nuisance of the Asuras. Indra and other gods became happy. Thus, when Kumara came out victorious, the gods were happy. The three worlds attained great pleasure. On knowing about the victory of Kartikeya, Shiva came there joyously with his beloved and the Ganas. He took his son on his lap and fondled him with pleasure. Parvati, in her flutter of affection, took Kumara, resplendent as the sun, on her lap and fondled him with pleasure. Then Himavat came there, along with his sons, kinsmen, and servants. He eulogized Shiva and Guha. The delighted gods, Ganas and sages, Siddhas and Charanas eulogized Parvati, Shiva, and the son of Shiva. The secondary gods poured a great shower of flowers. The chiefs of Gandharvas sang. The celestial damsels danced. The musical instruments were played sweetly then. Frequently loud shouts of victory and obeisance were raised. Vishnu too, in my company, was very glad. He respectfully eulogized Shiva, Parvati, and Kumara. Keeping Kumara in front, Brahma, Indra, and the other gods performed the rite of Nirajana lovingly. Other sages too did likewise. Then there was great jubilation with vocal and instrumental music and chantings of the Vedas. Hymns too were sung. The Lord of the universe was eulogized, O sage, by the delighted gods and Ganas by means of vocal and instrumental music. Then, eulogized by all, Lord Shiva, along with Parvati, the mother of the universe, went to his mountain surrounded by the Ganas. That brings us to the end of the reading today. Jai Guruji. Shukrana Guru Maharaj.